Parasite, Gu, breeding longevity path, starting from the love-enamored Gu. Author, Thousand Lakes True Person. Chapter 451. Island Master, we're sorry, that man is too charming for us to resist. 1. Attack, slaughter him. Dark Flame Ancestor revealed a glint of frost in his eyes, and a terrifying force of black flames burst forth from his body. These were amoebic flames of the heavens and earth, dark flame fire which he had mastered. According to legend, this flame originated from the depths of hell itself. Once it touched a living body, it would burn both the body and soul cleanly to ash. It was this amoebic flame's power that enabled Dark Flame Ancestor to dominate wherever he went, causing cultivators not to dare struggle against him. He immediately took out a top-grade spiritual treasure known as the Dark Flame Ring from his body. This was a spiritual treasure that he had refined using a large number of rare ores. It aided him in controlling the dark flame fire. After all, if this kind of amoebic flame was not controlled, it could easily go haywire. And that would likely harm its user. But with the aid of the spiritual treasure, it was a different story. The control was as effortless as moving one's arm. Rumbling. With the dark flame ring held in his hands, a black flame dragon exploded out of nowhere. It let out a terrifying roar, creating ripples that spread across 1,000 miles. The entire sky seemed to be burning in infinite black flames, turning mountains into molten lava and boiling the ocean. The sea appeared to be boiling, constantly bubbling and steaming, clouds of smoke billowing around it. This black flame dragon, quick as lightning, lunged towards Zhou Sui and Master Peach Blossom as if intending to incinerate them instantly to ash. Xianyan Sword Array. Zhou Sui, neither hurried nor calm, neither overjoyed nor sorrowful, once again activated the Xianyan Heavy Water Formation. In this moment, his soul had merged with the formation, uniting person and formation as one. He felt as if he had become the array itself, able to manipulate the force of the fourth stage spirit vein at his will. At this moment, his cultivation and power could be said to rival that of a nascent soul late-stage master cultivator. Between heaven and earth, infinite Xianyan aura gathered together, forming streams of grey sword light, thousands upon thousands of them. They interweaved into a massive sword array. Within 1,000 miles, there was an omnipresent terror of sword light, causing all beings to shiver in fear. The next second, with a flick of Zhou Sui's thought, the Xianyan sword array bombarded towards Dark Flame Ancestor. Boom! Immediately, countless Xianyan sword radiance bombarded onto this black flame dragon, driving holes into it in an instant, with Xianyan aura freezing it solid. Numerous Xianyan auras covered an area of hundreds of miles in the void, causing a drop in temperature. Even Dark Flame Ancestor could not help but shiver. It seemed that the Xianyan aura had invaded his body, eroding his meridians. Kill! At this moment, Extreme Shadow Ancestor, who was hiding nearby, launched his attack. He was a renowned assassin demon cultivator, wielding a top-grade spiritual treasure, the Extreme Shadow Sword. He was the acclaimed top-tier assassin of the Kanglan Sea region. The number of nascent soul cultivators who had died by his hands exceeded both of his hands' fingers. He had even successfully assassinated a late-stage nascent soul master cultivator. His remarkable achievements were naturally due to his cultivation of the profound art shadow kill skill. This technique could transform one's body into a shadow, eliminating one's breath and killing intent. When he launched an attack, he would instantly transform into an extreme shadow and kill his opponent. By that point, the opponent would not even know what happened before perishing, making it hard to defend against. Whoosh! In the blink of an eye, Extreme Shadow Ancestor transformed into a shadow, turning into black light. His Extreme Shadow Sword contained terrifying sharp-edged power, stabbing towards Zhou Sui. A grim expression appeared on his face, his gaze exuding absolute certainty. After all, with his late-stage nascent soul cultivation and combat power, assassinating a mere gold-core late-stage cultivator was like a sure thing. But at this time, Zhou Sui had already perceived every move of the Extreme Shadow Ancestor. His heart's eye power had been monitoring his surroundings, reflecting everything like a mirror with nothing able to escape his sense. Others might think that Extreme Shadow Ancestor's speed was quick and silent, invisible and hard to detect. But in face of his heart's eye power, his movements were slow and easy to read. Whoosh! Immediately, with a flick of Zhou Sui's thought, the power of the teleportation insect was used. His body and Master Peach Blossoms were wrapped in void power, and they instantly moved tens of miles, narrowly avoiding the attack. Thump! Without a doubt, Extreme Shadow Ancestor's attack hit thin air. A terrifying black light blasted out, crashing into an unknown island many miles away. Immediately, the several hundred miles wide unknown island could not withstand this attack, and was split in half by the force, rendering the island shattered. Fortunately, there were no living beings on this island. Otherwise, this single attack would be enough to level the entire island. All beings living on it would be wiped out with none surviving. Impossible. How can a mere golden core cultivator dodge my extreme shadow attack? How did you manage to do it? Void power? You've mastered the void power. Extreme Shadow Ancestor's eyes widened in disbelief. He originally thought his attack was sure to succeed. Not even a nascent soul cultivator could dodge it, let alone a puny gold core cultivator. But now, an attack that was supposed to hit its target missed, instead striking empty space. This unexpected turn of events stirred a storm within him. However, he soon sensed the shift in Zhou Sui's trail and noticed a peculiar similarity to a nascent soul cultivator's teleportation. Chapter 452 Island Master, we can't resist that man's charm, sorry _2. In other words, this golden core cultivator has mastered the power of teleportation. Only then could he move dozens of miles in an instant, dodging his deadly strike. Normally, a golden core cultivator would not be able to do this, nor would a nascent soul cultivator. Therefore, the only way this could be done is via a magic treasure. Without a doubt, this young lad has a treasure that allows him to teleport instantly. Thinking of this, his eyes couldn't help but flash with greed. If he obtained this teleportation treasure, he, Deist Extreme Shadow, could potentially become the top cultivator in the Kanglan Sea region. He could challenge any nascent soul grand cultivator and possibly win. Truth be told, he didn't expect such an unexpected joy. This Master Peach Blossom was held by Zhou Sui at her slender waist. She felt the manly aura emanating from Zhou Sui. Her body went weak and her pretty face flushed red. Her eyes turned soft. It was a time of a fierce battle, extremely dangerous. A slip of the guard could result in her losing her life. But for some reason, she felt unprecedented safety, as if she didn't have to worry about anything as long as she stayed by this man's side. Tisk, Master Peach Blossom, what are you thinking about? You're fantasizing about a golden core male cultivator, don't you see the situation right now? Pull yourself together, you're a nascent soul female cultivator, not a weak damsel in distress. Even so, she still felt her body weakening. It seemed like the man in front of her could do anything he wanted to her. And she was powerless to resist. Not bad, but that's all you can do. Zhou Sui watched Black Moon Ancestor, Mystic Flame Ancestor and Extreme Shadow Ancestor with indifference. Although late-stage nascent soul cultivators were terrifying in terms of combat capability, if the roles were reversed, Zhou Sui would probably be annihilated instantly without any chance to fight back. However, in the 4th stage top-grade array, the Great Array Xianyan Heavy Water Array, and with control over the power of a 4th-order spirit vein, he was the real ruler of this region. Any cultivator who entered it couldn't match him. This was the power of the formation, exerting the power of heaven and earth. With a mortal body, they demonstrated divine power. It should be known that the strength Zhou Sui demonstrated was only a part of the power of the Xianyan Heavy Water Array. Not all of its power. As a 4th stage formation, and a compound formation that incorporated dual formations, its power originated from 2 formations. The power is not as simple as 1 plus 1. The power increased geometrically. Summon the wind. Call forth the rain. With a thought, Zhou Sui fully activated the Xianyan Heavy Water Array, immediately unleashing the terrifying power of the 4th stage top-grade formation. The strength it contained was beyond comparison to before. The wind being summoned wasn't an ordinary wind, but the Xianyan gale. The rain being summoned was not normal rain, but Xianyan heavy water. The combined force of these 2 massive natural elements resulted in a terrifying destructive force. Boom! 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 In an instant, this power enveloped everything within thousands of miles in the sea area. The endless Xianyan gale burst out between heaven and earth, forming a storm and condensing into an array of terrifying Xianyan wind blades in the air, destroying everything in its path. Thousands of droplets of Xianyan heavy water fell from the sky. This Xianyan heavy water was not just extraordinarily heavy, each droplet weighed as much as a mountain. More importantly, it contained a terrifying Xianyan force. Once approached, one would instantly be invaded by the icy cold Xianyan force and the entire body would freeze immediately. At this moment, Zhou Sui was like an immortal god who was displaying a supreme divine art, the art of summoning wind and rain. Under the boost of the power of the 4th stage grand formation, he seemed to possess the mana of a nascent soul, and it was infinitely sustainable. He was able to release this power recklessly and manipulate the power of heaven and earth at will. Damn it, this guy is a 4th stage array master, and even at the highest realm of 4th stage, he can perfectly mobilize the power of the 4th order formation. The face of Black Moon Old Ancestor changed drastically as he felt the terrifying power between heaven and earth. He truly comprehended what the power of the 4th stage top grade formation was. Because previously, a 4th stage formation was rarely activated to its full potential. Who would drive the 4th stage formation within the sect if it wasn't a matter of life and death? So his understanding of the 4th stage formation was not so comprehensive. Now he felt the omnipresent force and killing intent between heaven and earth. It seemed as if the whole world was going to execute them all right here. At this moment, he finally realized why the status of a 4th stage array master was so respected. Although the threat of an array master wasn't as great after the formation. As long as they were within the formation, they were invincible. No cultivator would be silly enough to compete with an array master inside a formation. That would be nothing but seeking a dead end. Black Moon devouring heaven. Without further ado, the Black Moon Ancestor immediately activated his top-grade spiritual treasure, the Black Moon Flag. A black moon rose in the sky as if corroding the sky. Between heaven and earth, only this black moon remained, releasing an ominous and dark aura. Immediately, this huge black moon crashed down towards Zhou Sui in an attempt to break the formation. Unfortunately, it had no effect at all. Chapter 453 Island Master, we can't resist that man's charm, sorry _3. Endless Xianyan winds roared in, creating a terrifying storm that covered thousands of miles of sea, leaving nowhere to hide. Boom! 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 Thousands of Xianyan winds rushed in, tearing the sky and earth, striking the black moon. The black moon was shattered instantly, turning into dust. Shockingly, the Xianyan winds hit the Black Moon Elder directly. Arg! Black Moon Elder let out a scream of agony. His armor was instantly shattered, and he was blasted away, skidding across the sea for more than 10 li. A frightening yin force invaded his body, freezing his meridians, which led to the formation of white frost on his eyebrows, eyes, nose, and other parts of his body. Infernal Sea of Fire! Hell Ancestor shouted, holding the top-grade spiritual treasure Dark Flame Ring. Around him, a several hundred li radius turned into a black sea of fire. From the black sea of fire, numerous black flame crows flew out, cawing as they emitted the aura of death and coldness, aiming to destroy the array barrier and escape. He knew that if he remained within the array, death was certain. Every black flame crow had a terrifying power, falling onto nearby islands and reducing entire uninhabited islands to a wildfire, even reducing them to a molten state. If it fell on a human, it would undoubtedly incinerate them to ashes. Unfortunately, their efforts were all in vain in front of the awesome power of Xianyan heavy water. Above the sky, millions of drops of Xianyan heavy water fell like meteors, mercilessly smashing onto the black flame crows, instantly extinguishing the flames. Meanwhile, Hell Ancestor was caught off guard. His entire body was hit by several drops of Xianyan heavy water. It was like being hit by several mountains. He was sent flying and smashed onto the sea, causing a lot of water splashes. He spat out a mouthful of fresh blood, his internal organs severely damaged. Even worse, yin force invaded his body, causing his body to freeze due to the significant yin force. The sea also got invaded by the coldness, forming a thick layer of ice. Escape! Shadow Extreme Elder was terrified. He sensed the terrifying strength of the array and realized that there was no chance of winning by fighting here. So he immediately activated his ultimate escape technique, the Shadow Extreme Escape skill. Instantly, his whole body turned into a black stream of light, as if merging into the void, flying towards the outside of the array, trying to escape this array barrier and survive. Boom! Unfortunately, when he was about to escape, an array barrier emerged, forming a thick wall, blocking the void. It intercepted Shadow Extreme Elder in an instant. He crashed into the barrier and was severely injured. Damn it, this is the void blocking power of the 4th stage array. Are you really trying to exterminate me completely? I am an elder of the Xianyan sect. Killing me means declaring enmity with the Xianyan sect. Have you thought about the consequences? Shadow Extreme Elder glared at Zhou Sui, attempting to intimidate the Golden Core cultivator. Shut up! Zhou Sui looked at Shadow Extreme Elder indifferently, waved his hand and once again activated the Xianyan heavy water array. They were already mortal enemies, so why would he show any mercy? Even if the Xianyan sect became his enemy, once he advanced to a nascent soul cultivator, it might be the Xianyan sect that should be afraid. So, why would he possibly be afraid of the Xianyan sect? Moreover, as long as he didn't leave the Tri-Star Island group, even the Xianyan sect couldn't do anything to him. Thunder rolled. In an instant, the fourth stage array strength surged again, encompassing Black Moon Elder, Hell Ancestor, and Shadow Extreme Elder. The terrifying Xianyan winds and heavy water strength attacked, affecting thousands of miles of sea. The power was akin to heaven collapsing and earth shattering. Damn! The faces of Black Moon Elder, Hell Ancestor, and Shadow Extreme Elder changed drastically. They had been severely injured by the previous attack. If this continued, death was inevitable. Thinking of this, they looked at each other and quickly made a decision. Fourth stage top-grade Vajra talisman. In an instant, they each took out a fourth stage talisman from themselves and activated it immediately. A huge golden barrier immediately surrounded their bodies, forming a massive Vajra defense shield that covered 360 degrees, leaving no blind spots. Boom! 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 Immediately, thousands of drops of Xianyan heavy water fell like thousands of mountains, hitting the shield hard, but it was blocked by the fourth stage Vajra talisman. The cultivators inside remained unscathed. A fourth stage talisman. Zhou Sui narrowed his eyes. Apparently, fourth stage talismans were quite rare. Only a fourth stage talisman master could forge them, and their power was no less than a full strength hit from a nascent soul cultivator. However, creating fourth stage talismans was challenging. Each of them cost a lot of materials and a great deal of energy and effort from the fourth stage talisman master. But at critical times, a fourth stage talisman could be of great help to a nascent soul cultivator. Is that a fourth stage minor teleportation talisman? Zhou Sui was certain. He felt that the three nascent soul cultivators had taken out another fourth stage talisman. It was indeed the renowned fourth stage minor teleportation talisman. Chapter 454. Island Master, we can't resist that man's charm, sorry _4. Densely inscribed with void runes. Though this talisman is extremely precious, its usefulness is boundless. Once used, one could instantly travel hundreds of thousands of miles, even able to escape from a fourth stage formation's barrier. While the void partitioning power of the fourth stage formation indeed was formidable, the space-time teleportation power of the small shift talisman was also not to be underestimated. Once activated, even the barrier of a fourth stage formation couldn't stop it. This was one of the final life-saving measures of a nascent soul cultivator. Obviously, figures like Black Moon Ancestor knew that if they were to continue like this, they would undoubtedly die. Staying within the fourth stage formation and dueling with the Array Master was a mere self-inflicted death road. Thinking of running? It won't be that easy. Stay here, all of you. Zhou Sui's eyes let out a hint of cold light, as he naturally would not let them leave here. Otherwise, in the future, there would undoubtedly be three powerful enemies in Immortal Mist City. One can only play the part of a thief for so long before one has to guard against theft. He didn't want to constantly guard against these three nascent soul late-stage cultivators in the future. Anyhow, they must be kept here. Boom! Upon this thought, he immediately activated the robbery thunder worm he carried to trigger the power of thunder tribulation, attacking the three nascent soul late-stage cultivators in order to prevent them from using the small shift talisman. Damn Immortal Mist City Array Master, just wait, after I leave, you'll see. As long as we can escape, we will immediately summon the cultivators from the three great demon sects to annihilate Immortal Mist City. Having made us waste so many precious talismans, we will definitely pay you back. The faces of Black Moon Ancestor, Dark Flame Ancestor, and Extreme Shadow Ancestor were ferocious. Distressed expressions appeared on their faces as they had indeed spent a large number of fourth stage talismans, which was painstaking even for them as nascent soul late stage cultivators. Particularly the small shift talisman, which was their life-saving talisman. After using it, obtaining another one would be incredibly difficult. But at this point, they were in dire straits, and had no choice but to use the small shift talisman. Otherwise, they might really be trapped here by this golden core cultivator. Not good, this bastard is attacking us. Don't be afraid, we have a fourth stage diamond talisman that can even withstand a blow from a fourth stage formation. No, this is not normal power, it's the power of thunder tribulation, our 4th stage diamond talisman can't block the power of thunder tribulation. What's going on? How can this guy control the power of thunder tribulation? That's too absurd. Black Moon Ancestor, Dark Flame Ancestor, and Extreme Shadow Ancestor initially wanted to use the mini-shift talisman immediately, but Zhou Sui had attacked at this point. The timing of the attack was perfect. Tens of purple-colored thunder tribulation erupted from the robbery thunder worm, bombarding the 3 people. The power of thunder tribulation contained the armor break power, disregarding many forms of defense. Even the 4th stage diamond talisman was helpless against it. They penetrated the defense of the diamond talisman, directly bombarding the bodies of the 3. All of a sudden, the 3 nascent soul ancestors let out horrendous screams. They were paralyzed by the shock. The terrifying power of thunder tribulation invaded their bodies, interrupting the flow of their mana. This resulted in them being unable to use any mana for a short period of time. They were stunned as if turned to wood, and they lost their ability to counter. Even the power of the 4th stage diamond talisman was completely dispersed. Although this attack did not kill them, it did render them unable to use any power. Die. Zhou Sui wouldn't naturally let such a great opportunity slip by and once again controlled the Xianyan heavy water formation. Boom, boom, boom. The Xianyan wind erupted, forming thousands of wind blades, rushing toward the 3 nascent soul ancestors. This time, they couldn't resist at all. Thump. With just a single blow, Black Moon Ancestor, Dark Flame Ancestor, and Extreme Shadow Ancestor, 3 nascent soul late-stage ancestors, couldn't withstand even a second and were instantly cut into hundreds of pieces, as if they had been sliced and diced. Plenty of fragments immediately appeared above the sea, massive amounts of blood poured out, dyeing this sea area red. The soul aura of the 3 also instantly dissipated. Obviously, they couldn't hold on any longer and were all killed by Zhou Sui. 3 nascent soul late-stage cultivators, perished here. Hey! Zhou Sui's heart moved. At the moment when the 3 nascent soul demon cultivators died, black beams emerged, which were evidently soul strands. However, he had already prepared for this. He pulled out a replacement puppet from his body. This was a secret technique from the Sky Demon sect acquired from Chu Dai, primarily used to block soul strands. Now he had learned it too and had even crafted many replacement puppets. Instantly, the black beams entered the replacement puppets. They helped Zhou Sui avoid a calamity. Even if the 3 great demon sects wanted to know who killed Black Moon Ancestor and the others, they wouldn't be able to find the murderer. Boom! At this moment, Zhou Sui did not relax his vigilance at all. After all, these were the 3 nascent soul demon cultivators. Who knew if they had any special dead-faking secret techniques? He immediately used the power of the Dream Soul Goo, devouring the souls of these demon cultivators. In an instant, the soul power and memories of the demon cultivators were devoured by the Dream Soul Goo. Many memories of nascent soul cultivators turned into countless bubbles, entering the body of the Dream Soul Goo. Not bad. It seems they really are dead. Zhou Sui sensed the numerous memories transmitted from the Dream Soul Goo and felt quite satisfied. Obviously, after that attack, the 3 late-stage nascent soul demon cultivators couldn't possibly escape and had indeed died. Chapter 455 Island Master, we can't resist that man's charm, sorry _5. So the Dream Soul Goo has swallowed all the soul power and made it its own. In an instant, the power of the Dream Soul Goo experienced a certain level boost. Its internal space seemed to have expanded considerably, and the power of the dream world seemed to be growing at an observable rate. He actually defeated them all. Master Peach Blossom standing beside him also widened her beautiful eyes, looking at Zhou Sui in sheer disbelief. If she hadn't seen it with her own eyes, she wouldn't believe such a thing could happen. The man before her is merely a golden core cultivator. Even though he did leverage the power of 4th order formation, he managed to kill a nascent soul with the strength of the golden core. Besides, the one who was killed was a senior nascent soul cultivator. If this news spreads out, it will certainly shake the entire Kanglan Sea region. After all, the 3 nascent soul late-stage cultivators, even within the large sects, are considered top-level existence. That they all died at once would inevitably cause a huge stir. This will also trigger an earthquake in the 3 major magic sects, causing a new round of reshuffling. It's just borrowing the power of the 4th order formation, nothing more. Without the 4th order formation, this would not have been possible. Neither could it be possible to withstand the 3 late-stage nascent soul cultivators. Zhou Sui is well aware. It's not his own power, he merely borrowed the might of the formation. Once he steps out of the formation, he'd immediately be returned to his original state. At present, as long as he doesn't leave the Tri-Star Island group, no cultivator can hurt him. From a certain perspective, he's now completely safe in the Kanglan Sea region. Still, this is quite extraordinary. I know some Fourth Order Array Masters, but none are capable of what you've done. You've utilized the full potential of the Fourth Order formation. Master Peach Blossom commented, full of emotion. She is no stranger to Fourth Order Array Masters. However, they can, at best, compete against early-stage nascent soul or mid-stage nascent soul cultivators. When it comes to opponents from the nascent soul late stage, they are still far behind. Why Zhou Sui could achieve this is naturally due to the power of Array Heartgu. With the power of Array Heartgu, one can perfectly exhibit the might of Fourth Order formation. As for the other Fourth Order Array Masters, they can, at best, unleash 2 or 3/10 of its power, which is already quite good. And just because of this, the formation power they burst out differs by several folds. They couldn't be compared to Zhou Sui. Alright, let's go back for now. This isn't a place for chatting. Zhou Sui held Master Peach Blossom's slender waist, flashed, and instantly returned to the immortal mist peak. What? Master Peach Blossom's charming face turned red. She felt her body heating up. This man was too audacious, how could he just casually hold a woman's waist? She's not some random woman. If he really cared for her, he should formally propose to her and present a betrothal gift to her father. Now she felt weak, too weak to make any effort. Even if she wanted to refuse, she couldn't utter a word. At this moment, Zhou Sui raised his eyebrows, sensing that he received a message from his obsession Gu. It seemed that his affection with Master Peach Blossom had maxed out. If he wanted to, he could take this peerless beauty at any time. Perhaps because he saved her life, her feelings for him were at a maximum, already reaching a point where she willingly gave herself up. But after thinking it over, he decided to pass for the moment. After all, obtaining the yin force of Master Peach Blossom at this time would be a bit wasteful. It's better to wait till he advances to the nascent soul realm, then obtaining it wouldn't be too late. After all, he was not far from advancing to nascent soul, just a few years away. Island Master. At this moment, Chun Tao, Xia Tao, Kai Hu Dao and Dong Tao, the 4 golden core servants, had received the message from Zhou Sui. They flew over quickly and looked at Master Peach Blossom with joy. Since they entered the Tri-Star Island group, they hadn't met Master Peach Blossom in a long time. Although they would chat occasionally via communication tokens, they hadn't truly met each other face to face. You all take care of Master Peach Blossom. She suffered severe injuries today and needs to rest well. Zhou Sui instructed. Yes, we will surely take good care of the Island Master. Hearing these words, Chun Tao, Xia Tao, Kai Hu Dao and Dong Tao immediately became anxious and surrounded Master Peach Blossom, expressing their concern for her. That's good, I'll leave her to you then. After saying these words, Zhou Sui left. He was afraid that if he didn't leave, he wouldn't be able to control himself when faced with Master Peach Blossom, who had given herself up to him. Damn it! Seeing Zhou Sui leave, Master Peach Blossom grieved, but there was nothing she could do. After all, she couldn't initiate it herself. Even if it meant her death, she couldn't be the one to make the first move toward a man. Island Master, come with me. This will be your quarters from here on. At this time, Chun Tao and the others enthusiastically led Master Peach Blossom to the nearby guest rooms, introducing her to the facilities. You all, when did you give yourselves to that man and lost your yin force? After returning to the room, Master Peach Blossom suddenly opened up, her enchanting eyes looking at Chun Tao and the others. She had long noticed that her 4 beautiful and fair servants had already lost their yin force. After all, such things are impossible to hide from yin cultivators. We're sorry, Island Master. We've failed your trust. We had intended to complete the task given by you, Island Master. But we couldn't control ourselves and offered our bodies. Hearing this, Chun Tao, Xia Tao, Kai Hu Dao, and Dong Tao suddenly got frightened. They thought the Island Master was angry, and with guilt all over their faces, they knelt down on the ground. Originally, they were the most loyal servants of Master Peach Blossom. Who could have imagined that they couldn't resist the seduction of this man and had completely given in? They even forgot the task assigned by the Island Master and lost themselves in the joy. Forget it, tell me about that man. With an expressionless face, Master Peach Blossom didn't know what else to say. This man's charm was too great that even her loyal servants were tamed and offered themselves willingly. But she wasn't too comfortable scolding Chun Tao and the others either. Wasn't she also about to lose control of herself? Yes, Deist Island Master. Hearing this, Chun Tao and the others were instantly delighted, knowing the Island Master must have forgiven them. They started to recount what had happened during these years while they were staying at the Immortal Mist Sect. Chapter 456. The Storage Bag of the Nascent Soul Demon Cultivator, 1000-year-old spiritual medicine, Spirit Washing Begonia _1. With the deaths of the Black Moon Ancestor, the Extreme Shadow Ancestor, and the Dark Flame Ancestor, their life tokens were instantly shattered. The Sky Demon Sect, Haisha Palace, and Xianyin Sect, 3 great demon sects, shook tremendously. After all, they were all accomplished cultivators at the late stage of the nascent soul. They were among the handful of powerful figures even within the demon sects. Their deaths were unimaginable losses to their sects. What happened? Why did the Black Moon Ancestor, the Extreme Shadow Ancestor, and the Dark Flame Ancestor die at the same time? Did they die in the remnants of the divinity transformation? A nascent soul demon cultivator receiving the news from his sect changed color greatly. He could hardly believe it. Because he knew how powerful the Black Moon Ancestor and the others truly were and could hardly imagine their easy downfall. Nevertheless, their unexpected deaths caught everyone off guard. No, they did not die inside the divinity transformation ruins. It is said that they were previously hunting down Master Peach Blossom, attempting to snatch the treasure she had obtained. I originally thought the Black Moon Ancestor and the others had succeeded in accomplishing it, but instead, I heard the news of their deaths. Most likely, they died at the hands of Master Peach Blossom. A nascent soul demon cultivator murmured, revealing the information he knew. What? As soon as this information came out, the complexions of numerous demon cultivators changed drastically. None of them had expected this to happen. What kind of joke is this? While Master Peach Blossom is indeed powerful, she's just recently advanced to the nascent soul late stage. It's simply impossible for her to surpass the Black Moon Ancestor and the others in terms of strength. You're right. Master Peach Blossom was just being pursued and was retreating on every front against the Black Moon Ancestor and the others before. How could she have turned the tables and killed the Black Moon Ancestor in the blink of an eye? That's just absurd. There must have been some accident that led to the Black Moon Ancestor's death. Many nascent soul demon cultivators thought it was simply impossible for Master Peach Blossom to turn the tables and kill the Black Moon Ancestor and the others given her strength. It was witnessed by everyone. It is said that Master Peach Blossom kept fighting and retreating until she reached the Tri-Star Island group. And a 4th stage formation just so happened to be set up on the Tri-Star Island group. Perhaps, Master Peach Blossom used the 4th stage formation to ambush and kill the Black Moon Ancestor and the others. A nascent soul cultivator shared another piece of information. No way, so are you saying that the Master Peach Blossom was playing the fool to catch the wise? She's an array master of the 4th stage. It must be so. Otherwise, how could Master Peach Blossom use the 4th stage formation to ambush and kill those nascent soul late stage cultivators? What a despicable and cunning woman. Last time, Giant Deer Island was breached by the combined force of the Sea Clan and Haisha Palace. It was Master Peach Blossom that turned the tide, single-handedly killing 7 nascent souls and completely reversing the dire situation for the Wuji Alliance. It seems everyone has underestimated this woman. She might be the top cultivator in the Kanglan Sea region in the future. Truly a chip off the old block as Deist Unlimited's daughter. What should we do now? Should we take revenge for the Black Moon Ancestor and the others? Revenge, my ass. Haven't you seen that our sect masters are all trapped in the 5th stage formation? How can we take revenge without our sect masters? Do we barge into the Tri-Star Island group to offer our heads to Master Peach Blossom and increase her battle achievements? We are demon cultivators. Although we practically repay an eye for an eye, we also know when to move and when to stop. When we meet an opponent too strong, we should avoid a head-on collision instead of seeking death. Exactly, it's indeed a pity that the Black Moon Ancestor and the others are dead, but it is also inevitable. We can only wait for the sect masters to come out and then make a decision. That woman is a formidable nascent soul late stage cultivator, and with the might of the 4th stage formation, who could be her match? We shouldn't seek death needless. Endless discussions occurred among several nascent soul demon cultivators. While they lamented the deaths of the Black Moon Ancestor and the others, upon considering the situation, they thought revenge was far from realistic because they were nowhere near Master Peach Blossom's match. Due to Master Peach Blossom's terrifying battle record, their impressions of her were increasingly elevated. She was no ordinary nascent soul female cultivator. She was enough to be as famous as the three great female cultivators, Qianziun, the sect master of the Sky Demon sect, and Yefiro, the palace master of the Piao Miao Palace. Just because they were demon cultivators didn't mean they were idiots. Facing an opponent with no chance of defeating, they naturally chose to shrink back as if nothing had happened. Of course, news of this event not only spread among the demon sects, but also the Wuji Alliance, Tianjian sect, Piao Miao Palace, Sunset sect, Suanbao Tower, and other righteous sects became aware of it. The death of 3 nascent soul late-stage cultivators would create a great stir regardless of where it happened. Did you hear? Master Peach Blossom made a move and killed the Black Moon Ancestor, the Extreme Shadow Ancestor, and the Dark Flame Ancestor, 3 nascent soul late-stage demon cultivators, and took their heads off. It was extremely brutal. A cultivator was passing on the gossip confidentially. I heard that a long time ago. It is said that Master Peach Blossom pretended to be defeated, lured the Black Moon Ancestor, the Extreme Shadow Ancestor, and the Dark Flame Ancestor into the Tri-Star Island Group's 4th stage Grand Formation, and killed the 3 demon cultivators using the might of the formation, making them unable to flee or avoid. It was incredible. I have to say, as the future leader of our Wuji Alliance, she truly is unparalleled. Even I feel that she could take over the position of the Alliance Hierarch, and become the new Alliance Hierarch. A cultivator from the Wuji Alliance stated that he had heard about this event a long time ago, and it had even evolved into 18 different versions. Chapter 457. The Storage Bag of the Nascent Soul Demon Cultivator, 1000-year-old spiritual medicine, Spirit Washing Begonia _2. They felt an unsurpassed sense of pride. After all, this was the next Alliance Hierarch of the Wuji Alliance. The stronger he was, the more benefits it brought to the Wuji Alliance naturally. The status of every Wuji Alliance cultivator was on the rise. What? I heard that Master Peach Blossom single-handedly defeated the 3 great demon cultivators of Old Ancestor Black Moon with absolute superiority, killing them to the point where their nascent souls couldn't escape and died. Their bodies were then dragged to the Tri-Star Island Group for public display. Moreover, it was said that the ones Master Peach Blossom killed were not just Old Ancestor Black Moon and the other 2 demon cultivators at the nascent soul late stage. They also had many nascent soul minions who tried to rescue them, but they were all killed by Master Peach Blossom. It could be said that she destroyed them all in one fell swoop. The number of nascent soul demon cultivators who died at her hands exceeded 30. It was rumored that Master Peach Blossom received the unrivaled heritage of the nascent divinity sect, Kurong sect, leading to a significant advancement in her cultivation. She was quickly about to reach the divinity transformation stage and might become the #1 cultivator in the Kanglan Sea area in the future. She is too ferocious. Earlier, I thought it was a bit exaggerated to say that Master Peach Blossom was the most beautiful woman in Kanglan Sea area. But now, it seems undoubtedly true. With such beauty and strength, if she isn't the most beautiful woman in the Kanglan Sea, then who is? The cultivators discussed animatedly. In short, the rumors about Master Peach Blossom became more and more outlandish. There were already 108 versions circulating through the different cultivators. In any case, no matter which version, all depicted the strength of Master Peach Blossom. This also further escalated the fame of Master Peach Blossom, spreading her reputation far and wide. At that moment, in a quiet room in Immortal Mist Peak, Zhou Sui paid no attention to the ups and downs of the outside world. He was currently engrossed in examining the storage bags of the 3 late-stage nascent soul demon cultivators, each brimming with riches. His heart was thumping with excitement as this loot was extremely impressive. Top-grade spiritual treasures, Black Moon Flag, Dark Flame Ring, Extreme Shadow Sword. Zhou Sui's eyes lit up with a sharp glint. Without a doubt, these 3 top-grade spiritual treasures were the lifebound spiritual treasures of Old Ancestor Black Moon and the others. As these 3 died, their treasures lost their masters and naturally became his possession. First was the top-grade spiritual treasure, the Black Moon Flag. This treasure was tremendously powerful. It combined the strength of a heavenly demon and stars. Just a casual wave of the flag could create a black moon through condensing celestial demonic stars. According to the rumors, if it was fully activated, it could release an attack called 9 Moons Falling Together, as powerful as 9 moons falling down, with boundless might. Even Old Ancestor Black Moon, a late-stage nascent soul cultivator, could not fully activate the power of the Black Moon flag. Even for divine transformation stage cultivators, the level of their magical tools was mere top-grade spiritual treasures. Similarly, the second top-grade spiritual treasure, the Dark Flame Ring, was not to be underestimated. It contained the world of the demon fire, Dark Flame. Comparable to Taiyan spirit fire, it held boundless power. A small cluster of this flame could reduce an entire island to ashes. Usual forces simply couldn't extinguish the Dark Flame fire. Ever since old ancestor Dark Flame acquired this top-grade spiritual treasure, his battle's prowess increased several times over. He was a demon cultivator whose name shook the Kanglan Sea area, formidable beyond belief. The third top-grade spiritual treasure, the Extreme Shadow Sword, was undoubtedly a supreme sword. Once you held the sword, you could become a shadow, which would dramatically increase your speed. It was similar to Black Fleeing Light. Old Ancestor Shadow, known as a famous assassin demon cultivator, achieved his great reputation with the help of this sword's power. Besides, this sword was not only capable of assisting its master in hiding and speeding up, but it was also extremely sharp. The usual defensive spiritual treasures were unable to resist its edge. Often, a single stroke could instantly pierce the enemy's defenses, resulting in the enemy's death. Obtaining this extreme shadow sword was almost like getting a significant power boost. No doubt, they were worthy of being great cultivators at the late-stage nascent soul. These top-grade spiritual treasures they possessed were indeed unusual and immensely powerful. If it wasn't for the array strength, it would have been impossible to lay them down and kill them in this sea area. No way, there are so many top-grade spirit stones. There are a total of 3,500 pieces of top-grade spirit stones. I've really struck it rich. Zhou Sui was very excited. He also found a large number of top-grade spirit stones from their storage bags. Frankly speaking, such rare resources like the top-grade spirit stones were not for sale in the outside world. After all, they could be used as the driving energy for teleportation arrays and also for driving 4th stage and 5th stage flying boats. These were resources of strategic significance. If there were no top-grade spirit stones and only upper-grade spirit stones, then no matter how many spirit stones there were, it would not be enough. Only with top-grade spirit stones in hand could one become the foundation of a major power. However, top-grade spirit stones were essentially controlled by nascent soul cultivators. Ordinary cultivators were simply not qualified to have top-grade spirit stones. Right now, he had obtained 3,500 top-grade spirit stones all at once, which could certainly be considered a big score. So many top-grade spirit stones could have been used to construct several teleportation arrays. They could even be enough to power a few 4th stage flying boats. If sold, they could also fetch a large amount of 4th stage treasure pills. Of course, no one would be foolish enough to trade away top-grade spirit stones. There are so many demon art skills and heritage jade records? Where did all these cultivation techniques come from? Could they have been obtained by killing others and seizing their treasures? Zhou Sui stroked his chin, continuing to explore these storage bags. He discovered that the storage bags contained a large amount of demon arts skills, all of which were the carefully collected treasures of Black Moon Ancestor and the like. He had never collected these demon arts skills before. Unfortunately, none of these demon arts skills were suitable for his cultivation. Almost every one of them had significant flaws. Still, it didn't matter if they weren't suitable for him. He could simply feed them all to the bookworm. Consider them as a sort of data to be stored, and it could also promote the growth of the bookworm. After all, as the power of the bookworm continuously increased, its assistance to him was becoming greater and greater. There are no 4th stage treasure pills. Zhou Sui was speechless. He originally thought he could find some 4th stage treasure pills from the Black Moon Ancestor and others, but after searching, he found nothing but some healing pills, detoxifying pills and mana recovery pills. There was not a single pill that could enhance mana. When he thought about it carefully, it actually made sense. After all, the 4th stage treasure pills were extremely precious, even nascent soul cultivators didn't carry them. Acquiring one would require a significant amount of wealth. Therefore, as soon as they got a 4th stage treasure pill, they would naturally consume it immediately to increase their own cultivation. It was unlikely that they would keep any. Unless they were 4th stage pill masters, they might have a large amount of pills stored on them. Otherwise, storing 4th stage treasure pills would be almost impossible. He had previously obtained several bottles of Qingming pills, which was a stroke of great luck. From this perspective, one could see the difficulties that the nascent soul cultivators encountered in their cultivation. Without the assistance of pills, everyone's progress was extremely slow. Whenever a fourth stage treasure pill emerged, it would cause a scramble among the nascent soul ancestors. Wait, is this real? A 1,000-year-old spiritual medicine, the spirit-washing begonia, they actually have this kind of 1,000-year-old spiritual medicine stored. In an instant, Zhou Sui was stunned. As he continued to inspect the various treasures in the storage bags, he also noticed a large number of spiritual medicines. Perhaps these were the harvests of the Black Moon ancestor and others from the God transformation relics. They hadn't had time to deal with them and had left them in the storage bags. Among them, a 1,000-year-old spiritual medicine, the spirit-washing begonia, immediately caught his eye. This was an ancient spiritual medicine that was almost extinct in the human world. Even in the ancient era, it was extremely valuable, and countless cultivators longed for it. Because this 1,000-year-old spiritual medicine could help cultivators enhance their spiritual root aptitude, cleanse their bodies, and temper their bones. It could be said that its uses were infinite. Of course, for most nascent soul cultivators, it didn't make much difference. Because they already had heavenly spirit root aptitude. Even by consuming the 1,000-year-old spiritual medicine, the spirit-washing begonia, they couldn't enhance their aptitude by much. Only for those with lower-grade spirit roots, mid-grade spirit roots, or upper-grade spirit roots would have a significant effect. As for Zhou Sui, up to this point, his aptitude was only 4th-grade spiritual root. He was just one step away from upgrading to 3rd-grade spirit root and possessing upper-grade spirit root aptitude. If he consumed this 1,000-year-old spiritual medicine, he would undoubtedly be promoted to the 3rd-grade spirit root level. The benefits of this to him were self-evident. Chapter 458. Promoted to 3rd-grade spirit root, husband is a dedicated man _1. After further checking his storage bag for another 10 minutes, Zhou Sui found a vast amount of 4th-grade ores, 4th-grade spiritual medicines, and 5,300,000 top-grade spirit stones, which had quite a lot of value. However, compared to the treasures he'd previously obtained, this amount could only be considered as spare change. Especially the 1,000-year-old spirit-washing begonia, an invaluable spiritual medicine money could not buy. If it weren't for the emergence of the divinity transformation ruins, such a spiritual medicine would probably have already gone extinct in the mortal world. Let's begin. Without hesitation, Zhou Sui started. He could slowly enhance his own spiritual root aptitude with the power of obsession gu, but the speed was too slow. Now, with the help of spirit-washing begonia, he could boost his spiritual root aptitude. Why wait for the gradual progress of the obsession gu? It was like if one could skip grades and go to college at 12, there's no point in foolishly waiting until 18 to attend college. Being a step ahead led to leading every step of the way. This is the principle of the cultivation world. With that thought, he swallowed the 1,000-year-old spirit-washing begonia in one gulp. He activated the Insect God Sutra, instantly refining it and transforming the plant into drops of spiritual medicine liquid. In no time, the drops of spiritual medicine liquid entered his body and quickly became an enormous, pure energy, instantly spreading to every corner of his body. This. Zhou Sui's eyes widened, feeling as if his body was soaked in a hot spring. His body was warm, and the massive medicinal power permeated every part of his body. It seemed like a mysterious force was constantly cleansing his body. Not only refining his veins, skin, muscles, bones, and other parts of his body but even his soul. It was like a comprehensive evolution of his entire being, as if his body was receiving a baptism from a mysterious energy. The benefits were unimaginable. A night passed. The baptism lasted for a whole night. Zhou Sui could feel his spiritual root aptitude improving. 60%, 70%, 80%, 90%, up till it reached 100%. Almost instantaneously, without any hindrances. The massive medicinal power helped his spiritual root break through in quality. He has a 3rd-grade spirit root. Zhou Sui was shaken, as he could now feel that his spiritual root aptitude has indeed reached the realm of 3rd-grade spirit root, stepping into the level of upper-grade spirit root. With such cultivation aptitude, even in a nascent soul sect, he could definitely become an inner sect disciple. After all, freaks like heavenly spirit root were extremely rare. Each one had potential for nascent soul transformation and could become a true disciple. In fact, disciples with upper-grade spiritual root aptitude were the backbone of their sects. This was the quality that many cultivators in the cultivation world possessed. Monsters like the heavenly spirit root were a rare existence, something you can only come across but not seek to find. Let's test out the efficiency of my training. Zhou Sui sat cross-legged, taking his time to comprehend his own third-grade spiritual root aptitude. Boom! The moment he activated the Insect God Sutra, the nature's spiritual energy from his surroundings surged towards him like a tide, entering into his body. It was transformed by his spiritual root into the purest golden core cultivation power. He could feel the golden core cultivation power in his body rising at a geometric rate. At this moment, he had never felt so unrestrained. This is crazy. Is this the power of a third-grade spiritual root? Zhou Sui's eyes widened in excitement. His trial had just started and yet, he could perceive the earth-shattering changes compared to before. Compared to before, his efficiency at absorbing nature's spiritual energy has had a qualitative increase. Compared to the fourth-grade spiritual root, the efficiency of his cultivation had at least doubled. One could only say that the difference in aptitude between a third-grade and a fourth-grade spiritual root was enormous. It was akin to switching the engine of a tractor with that of a sports car. The two were completely different. If he were still on Immortal Mist Island, his third-grade spiritual root aptitude would have already made him a true disciple. He would undoubtedly become the target of competition among the various Foundation establishment elders, becoming a closed-door disciple. If he had the third-grade spiritual root from the very start, perhaps he wouldn't have encountered so many hardships. Next was the improvement in his comprehension. He felt his comprehension had improved by at least twofold, and his thinking speed had doubled too. All the knowledge he couldn't understand before now seemed considerably simpler through his eyes. Even without the aid of bookworm's power in view of his current insight, he could comprehend various top-notch cultivation techniques. One could only say how terrifying the quality of a third-grade spiritual root was. If a third-grade spiritual root is already so terrifying, then what about heavenly spirit root? How would that be? Zhou Sui was overwhelmed with emotion. He thought about Chu Dai, his Dao companion, and his prepared Dao companion, Master Peach Blossom. They both were heavenly spirit root cultivators. It seemed like they never found cultivation hard. They sailed smoothly through their journey with hardly any bottlenecks. Moreover, no matter which cultivation technique they practiced, they seemed extremely compatible, as if they were born to walk the Dao. One could only say, comparing people could even be more infuriating than comparing a person to a monkey. The gap between people sometimes was even wider than the gap between a human and a monkey. Of course, as his spiritual root aptitude gradually increased, he would catch up with them sooner or later. He might even surpass them. Frankly, he wanted to experience just how astonishing the cultivation speed of a heavenly spirit root was. However, considering his current progress with his spiritual root, he didn't see it happening overnight. Chapter 459. Promoted to third-grade spirit root, husband is a dedicated man _2. Of course, if one could obtain some thousand-year-old spiritual medicine that would help with the evolution of the spiritual root, perhaps the speed of his spiritual root evolution would surpass any imagination. However, it might not be so easy to find a similar thousand-year-old spiritual medicine again. This is such joyful news, we must celebrate. Zhou Sui was overjoyed, his heart was brimming with excitement. He left the meditation room and arrived at his bedroom. Chu Dai, Lin Yazhu, Shen Baiqian, Lang Yuexi, Xia Jinjian, Mu Ziai, Ji Binjiu, and other Dao partners seemed to have just gotten up. Each was charming and enchanting, with an indescribable allure. Each of them was a peerless beauty. Especially after the refining power of the obsession gu, they were becoming more perfect, which was extremely attractive. Husband, what are you plotting in broad daylight? Ji Binjiu looked at Zhou Sui's expression and said disapprovingly. They were all old couples. She could see this man's impure intentions at a glance. He also cultivated hard for a while last night, but he didn't expect to continue cultivating during the day. Cough, I have made a breakthrough in my cultivation, and I want to celebrate it with you all. This is a serious matter. Zhou Sui said earnestly. What celebration? You're always up to no good, go away. Lang Yuexi blushed and wanted to push Zhou Sui out. The other Dao partners chuckled. With a click, Zhou Sui locked the door. Soon, the jubilant sound came again from the bedroom. However, they were all accustomed to this, and even enjoyed it. Another day had passed. Master Peach Blossom had also familiarized herself with the environment of the Immortal Mist sect. But she got an even more astonishing news from her maid. That is, there were not one, but 2 female nascent soul cultivators around Zhou Sui. One of them was the saintess of the Sky Demon sect, Chu Dai. She had also heard about Chu Dai. It was said that she was the direct disciple of the Sky Demon sect master, Qian Ziun, with a high status, and was known as the next sect master. Especially, the news of her becoming a nascent soul cultivator had long been spread among the high levels of various nascent soul forces. But she never expected that Chu Dai became Zhou Sui's Dao partner. If she hadn't witnessed it with her own eyes, who would believe such an absurd thing? Didn't you guys say this man is a diligent cultivator? Why is he attracting so many women one after another? Master Peach Blossom was grinding her teeth. She looked suspiciously at Chun Tao and the others, wondering whether they were fooling her. Was this the behavior of a diligent cultivator? He was everywhere, simply a playboy. Island Master, every word we say is true. During the years of living with our husband, he has always been cultivating an immortal mist peak. Unless necessary, he would not leave the immortal mist sect. As for how he met Sister Chu, we're not so sure. It seems that Zhou Sui accidentally saved Sister Chu during an accident. As a result, Sister Chu clung to our husband, and after some twists and turns, they got together. Chun Tao helplessly said. Although from the result, their husband indeed had many wives and concubines, he was extremely loyal and definitely a diligent cultivator if viewed from the process. If not, he wouldn't have progressed so rapidly. It could be said that his progress was incredibly fast. Even they secretly marveled at their husband's cultivation speed. It must be that even heavenly spirit root cultivators would not be better. Yes, the only explanation is that our husband's luck with women is very strong. Even without leaving home, there would be women rushing over. Honestly, it's good that our husband doesn't like to go out. If he really liked to travel everywhere, he might not only have so many Dao partners. Even if he had hundreds of Dao partners, it wouldn't be surprising. Xiaotao felt that the reason their husband, who cultivated hard every day and rarely went out, still had so many Dao partners was purely because of his strong luck with women, which led to this result. Even if he stayed at home, countless beauties would still offer themselves. The romance fate? This is perhaps too illusory, isn't it? Hearing these words, Master Peach Blossom also hesitated for a moment. Although she was somewhat skeptical whether such luck truly exists in the world, judging from Zhou Sui's situation, such a scenario is not entirely impossible. After all, there truly exist all kinds of unique physiques in the world. Among them, a physique that naturally carries the romance fate is not impossible. Island Master, this is certainly not an illusion. To be honest, my husband indeed is incredibly good at attracting the affection of female cultivators. He himself is an unparalleled handsome man, usually kind-hearted, and does not reject others. If he encounters some beautiful female cultivators throwing themselves at him, I'm afraid my husband cannot resist. It is something he cannot help. Kai Hu Dao expressed with a somewhat helpless tone. Frankly, she too felt that her husband's romance fate was shockingly hefty, and she did not know how to explain that. Of course, the fact that her husband has great charm is entirely a good thing. This indicates that she did not choose the wrong husband. You're exactly right, even though there are countless flowers around our husband, he only has so few Dao companions. Our husband is truly faithful. In fact, if it were not for the Island Master who forcefully gave us to our husband, I'm afraid we would not have gotten involved with our husband at all. Dong Tao said, filled with emotions. Although she was puzzled when she was previously given to Zhou Sui by Master Peach Blossom, looking at the results, it was the correct decision. They have been very happy and comfortable, experienced the joys of being a woman. Hearing this, Master Peach Blossom was literally speechless, not knowing what to say. All she could think of was that the man she chose was truly distinctive. Within just a few years, her loyal maidservants fell in love with this man almost instantly. They even argued with her for this man. How is this man's cultivation? Master Peach Blossom asked, wanting to know more about Zhou Sui's situation. Naturally, my husband's cultivation progresses rapidly, and he is now a late golden core cultivator. Even reaching the nascent soul realm is not far. What's more important is that he is almost an all-round cultivator, knowing a bit about the 100 arts of cultivation. He is now a 4th stage array master, 4th stage pill master, 3rd stage talisman master, 3rd stage artifact refiner, and so on. In short, my husband is omnipotent. Chun Tao spoke in absolute admiration. The more she understood this man, the more she worshipped him. He was truly an immortal descending to earth, unparalleled. If there will be God transformation cultivators emerging in the Kanglan Sea region in the future, her husband will definitely be one of them. Sooner or later, her husband will be the leading figure in the Kanglan Sea region. This is not boasting, but the truth. So you mean, the fourth stage Xianyan heavy water formation in the Tri-Star Island group is not some ancient formation left behind, but it was personally arranged by this man. Hearing this, Master Peach Blossom was very surprised. Previously, many nascent soul cultivators from the Wuji Alliance had speculated that the Fourth Order formation was likely an ancient formation left behind by the Kurong sect, and that Immortal Mist City just happened to find and utilize it. But looking at it now, such coincidences did not exist. This Fourth Order formation was arranged entirely by Zhou Sui. That's why it appeared in the Tri-Star Island group. Frankly speaking, this fact indeed made her feel shocked. To what extent had this man's cultivation reached? Yes, it is arranged by my husband. That's why my husband can perfectly control this formation. With the cultivation of a late golden core, he can contend against nascent soul cultivators. I think my husband must be one of the strongest array masters in history. Xiaotao's beautiful eyes revealed a look of adoration, brimming with allure. As a woman, naturally, she worshipped strong individuals. Especially in the cultivation world, to be powerful is the decisive factor. This strength not only brings safety but also brings wealth, power, and longevity. Strength and knowledge represent everything. Chapter 460. Promoted to Perfect Core Formation _1. It seems that this man indeed possesses exceptional talent and stands out among his peers. This stirred a desire within Master Peach Blossom. She felt that she might need to make a move. If she didn't act first, she feared that what she coveted would be snatched away by other cunning vixens, leaving her with nothing. This was the nature of the cultivation world. Everything was a product of conflict and competition. The same was true for the 1000-year-old spiritual medicine, fourth stage treasure pills, top-grade spiritual treasures, and God transformation techniques, and so on. There wasn't a single item that didn't require her to take action and seize it for herself. There was no such thing as manna from heaven in this world. A good man, if not seized, would be stolen away by other wicked women. The idea that good women should wait quietly for men to pursue them was long obsolete. True women should be proactive. Knock. 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 At this moment, a knock at the door echoed from the outside. Come in. Master Peach Blossom's heart stirred. She immediately sensed a few female cultivators outside. She knew straight away that they must be the Dao companions of Zhou Sui, intending to meet her. With a click, the door opened, and a few peerless beauties came into view. It was none other than Lin Yazhu, Chu Dai, and the others. Upon hearing the news of Master Peach Blossom, they also came to visit. After all, she was a master cultivator in the nascent soul late stage. Such distinguished personas were a rare sight even within the vast waters of the Kanglan Sea area. Master Peach Blossom. We have come to inquire about something. Chu Dai smiled faintly and asked explicitly, without beating around the bush. Oh? What's the matter? Master Peach Blossom asked curiously. I had heard from my husband earlier that my master, the sect master of the Sky Demon sect, and others are temporarily trapped in the formation of the Kurong sect. Is that true? Chu Dai asked. Indeed, that's the case. But, you don't need to worry. My father, Deist Unlimited, and your master, the sect master of the Sky Demon sect, both are master cultivators in the nascent soul late stage. In addition to that, many other experienced nascent soul late stage cultivators have joined forces. They've gathered the strongest in the Kanglan Sea area. Although the prohibition arrays in the core area of the Kurong sect are formidable, they won't be able to harm them for some time. Master Peach Blossom knew immediately what Chu Dai wanted to know and directly replied. That's a relief. Hearing this, Chu Dai sighed with great relief. After all, her master, Qian Ziun, had always treated her well, like both a teacher and a mother. She didn't want to see anything unfortunate happen to her master. It is said that you just advanced to the nascent soul realm. Why don't we have a discussion on cultivation? Master Peach Blossom, her eyes gleaming, offered her suggestion with a faint smile. She was clearly showing her goodwill. If she happened to become involved with that man in the future, these female cultivators would become her sisters-in-law. So, it's better to foster a good relationship now. We're deeply honored. The eyes of Lin Yazhu and Chu Dai immediately lit up with excitement. After all, they had just entered the nascent soul realm as cultivators and were still somewhat oblivious in regard to their future path. On the other hand, Master Peach Blossom was already an experienced cultivator in the nascent soul late stage. If such a senior was willing to give guidance, they would definitely welcome it. Ji Binjiu and the others were thrilled. Even if they, as Foundation Establishment Realm cultivators, couldn't comprehend everything from a discussion between nascent soul cultivators, they would still benefit greatly. If they were still on Immortal Mist Island and remained ordinary Foundation Establishment cultivators, they wouldn't have had the opportunity to meet such seniors. Even Golden Core Masters might not have many chances to interact with them. On the other hand, Zhou Sui had no idea that his Dao companions had already started to get acquainted and had even begun a discussion on cultivation. After dual cultivation with his Dao companions, he was refreshed and energetic. At this moment, he immersed his divine sense in the Array Heart Gu. Because he sensed that after years of erosion, the Array Heart Gu had finally mastered part of the core of the ruins of Kurong sect and could control part of the 15th order formation's power of the sect. Boom! At this moment, he felt his divine sense emerge within the Array Heart Gu. He felt like a creator, overlooking the entire island. No matter where on the island, his awareness was crystal clear and left no stone unturned. So that's how it is. This is the Kurong sect's 5th order superior array, the 4 symbols Kurong array. And this array was the strongest offensive formation of the Kurong sect. Once this array is activated, living beings within the formation will suffer a rapid decrease in their lifespan. Being struck by a Kurong divine light would instantly drain 100 years of a person's lifespan. Even if they're God transformation cultivators with a lifespan of 3,000 years, they wouldn't last long. Zhou Sui was utterly amazed. The Kurong sect of the past used to rely on this 5th order superior array, allowing them to sweep across countless foes, and suppress the Kanglan Sea area for tens of thousands of years, becoming an unrivaled overlord. Its reputation spread through the entire cultivation world. Even on other continents, its name invoked fear and respect. The depth of each nascent soul sect was beyond imagination. A 5th order formation is so profoundly deep and mysterious. At this moment, Zhou Sui felt endless information being transmitted from within the Array Heart Gu. It was unimaginably complex. The complexity of the 5th order formation was at least 10 times that of the 4th stage. Even in the ancient era, there were few cultivators that could become the 5th order formation master. The complexity involved made his head spin.